Many Christians use an analogy to defend the Trinity, that of the sun and light. But is this image really convincing? Today we're going to see why it's problematic and how we can contradict it with another image. If you're interested in this topic, consider subscribing to the Islamvids channel and turning on notifications so you don't miss anything. Let's go. The idea behind this analogy is simple. The sun represents God the Father, the source of everything. The light that comes from the sun represents Jesus. It is inseparable from the sun and shares its luminous nature. Some add that the sun's warmth represents the Holy Spirit felt by humans. The purpose of this analogy is to explain how the three persons of the Trinity are distinct but of the same nature. But this image has a problem. Actually, several problems. If Jesus is like the sun's light, it means he's a kind of emanation of the Father, a simple radiation and not a fully independent divine person. Now, according to Christian doctrine, Jesus is a divine person in himself, not just an effect of the Father. Light exists only because the sun produces it. If we apply this idea to Jesus, it would mean that Jesus exists only thanks to the Father, which poses a big problem. According to Christian doctrine, Jesus has always existed. He is eternal like the Father. But light has a beginning, it is produced by a source. So this analogy gives a bad image of the relationship between the Father and the Son. If the Son is the source and the light stems from it, it can suggest that the Father is greater than the Son, that he is the true authority, and that Jesus is inferior. But according to the Trinity, the Father and the Son are equal. They are supposed to be of the same nature with no superiority between them. So if the analogy of the sun and light is problematic, is there a better image to understand why it is incorrect? Let's take the image of a tree and a seed. The tree is big and powerful. It represents God the Father. The seed comes from him. It represents Jesus, the Son. But the seed is not identical to the tree, and above all, it has a beginning of existence. Now, Christian doctrine says that Jesus never had a beginning, so if we compare the Son to the sun or to a seed that comes from a tree, we imply that he was engendered at some point, which contradicts the idea that he is co-eternal with the Father. This is why the image of the sun and light, just like that of the tree and the seed, are not perfect explanations of the Trinity. Let's recap. The analogy of the sun and light tries to explain the Trinity by showing that Jesus shares the same nature as the Father, but it gives the impression that Jesus is a simple emanation and not an independent divine person. It implies that Jesus depends on the Father to exist. While, according to the Trinity, he is eternal, it establishes a kind of hierarchy between the Father and the Son, while they are supposed to be equal according to the Trinity, of course. In short, if you hear someone use this analogy to defend the Trinity, you will now know why it doesn't really hold water. Tell me in the comments what you think. Have you ever heard this argument? Do you find this analogy convincing? What if you took the time to look in the Quran? Unlike the Bible, it contains no numerical or historical contradictions. Jesus himself never claimed the Trinity, and he will return to restore the truth. The Trinity is a human construct that does not reflect his true message. If you like this video, click like, subscribe to the Islamvids channel and activate the bell so you don't miss anything. And if you want to go further, watch all our videos on the contradictions of the Bible. Thanks for watching and see you soon.